What is up, YouTube? And thanks for joining me on another episode of Twisted Wrench Garage. Today we're back out here on this black truck. Again, not a name for it. I'm thinking maybe Black Betty or Betty or something, or Black Stallion. We'll see. Now, I haven't gotten really a whole lot of comments in the videos of any kind of names or anything, but I'm still taking ideas. So let me know down in the comments, guys. If you have an idea for this, the name of this black truck, let me know, because I think the theme is going to be black and gold. It's going to have some stacks on it, that's for sure. But what we're doing today is I'm pulling all the wheels off. We're going to make sure all the wheels roll nice and good. Then we're going to start getting the motor prepped to get it pulled out, so we can start going ahead and resealing it, redoing all that kind of stuff, making sure it's all up to date and going to be good to run and drive on a regular basis, because I do want to drive this truck quite a bit, I think. It's going to be the rig that we take to go and do maybe rescues and stuff if I ever get to that point. I'm hoping one day. That's the goal. But let me show you guys what I'm working with on this truck when it comes to the front end. Right now, the only thing that I'm seeing that isn't really rotating very well is this driver front. It seems to be a little frozen, but I will bring you guys in and show you guys what I'm dealing with. All right, guys and gals. This is that front driver caliper. This thing is, you can see, try to move it and it don't move. My guess is the plate's coming out and it's obviously wedging itself in between and causing this thing to be frozen. But as you guys can tell, I have been hammering right here just to try to get this thing loose, and it's starting to come free. But give you guys a look at kind of how a lot of this looks down here. That looks good. Outer tie rod. The inner tie rod looks about the same. Looks fairly decent. Upper ball joint looks like it may need replaced here real soon. Lower ball joint, let me see if I can turn the light on for you guys. There we go. Lower ball joint. Get underneath here. There we go. It looks okay. It's probably going to need replaced eventually. But a lot of the stuff is just kind of rusted up from sitting. But that's what I'm working with on this this caliper. So I'm gonna keep hammering on this. I'm gonna get this freed up, and I'll kind of go through trying to get it a little bit freed up. And I don't know if we're gonna be, getting right to replacing all this stuff right away or not. But we'll see what happens. But I'll bring you back for an update. All right, guys and gals. Went ahead and got this freed up. All I did was just took it apart, and I used a C-clamp on this caliper, but I'm pretty sure it's frozen stuck, so this one probably needs rebuilt. I did go ahead and put a little bit of high-speed grease just on this area here where the caliper and etc. meets, just so it'll move freer if it does work, but I doubt it's going to, because the piston inside was kind of cracked up and it looked like it was a little busted. So this is probably going to need replaced. It doesn't look like it had a brake job not too long ago. As you can see by that color right there, I went ahead and pulled the backing plates off of these because they had slipped down and it was actually causing a hang. So I went and pulled those off. Again, I'm not keeping these pads more than likely. Just go ahead and replace them. They're cheap enough. And it'll come with new backing plates, and probably we'll look at either rebuilding these calipers or getting new ones. I do have the driver one from Jason's truck, Marshmallow, and I'm pretty sure the driver's side was good, so I might be able to put his old one to use, because I believe that passenger side one is okay. Maybe I haven't taken it apart yet, but as you can see, it is freeing. It is spinning a lot freer now. But let's go ahead and take a look at this other side real quick. This one is a little hangy, so maybe I'll pull this apart and get it to free up a little bit so it's not dragging so hard. So I'll go ahead and get that done. Also, I forgot to mention, on these little spots here where the brake caliper moves back and forth, if you're ever doing these kind of like brake jobs and stuff, I would suggest just taking like a wire brush or a wire wheel and just kind of cleaning that stuff up, and you can put some grease on it, and that'll help it move freer and keep it from freezing up on you later on down the line in case the truck has to be parked for any kind of reason, I guess. But we'll get that taken apart and we'll get it taken care of. All right, guys, got this side all put back together. It's moving free now. Obviously, I pushed in the caliper, put some grease on there, wire brushed it with a little air wire brush. So we got both driver and passenger working free. So move over here. You can see that is turning. I'll go ahead and go over here. Same thing. So we got all four wheels free now, so now we can actually roll it. But what I'm going ahead and doing now, I went ahead and started. I went ahead and removed transmission lines that go to both sides of the radiator. There and there. Disconnected the radiator hose, drained it already. Disconnected the fuel lines. And then we're gonna go ahead and go up top and start disconnecting some stuff so we can get this thing ready to get pulled out. Just wanted to give you guys a little update of what I'm doing here. You can see some of the original blue there from where I scraped to find the bolts to get the lines out of the way. Because I think I have some more that came off that other truck that are in a little bit better shape, or we can just clean those up or whatever. Just wanted to get them out of the way. But let's get this thing down so we can get some more stuff off of it. All right, guys and gals. Almost completely ready to get this motor pulled out. Got the carburetor off. Went ahead and disconnected the headers. They're just kind of hanging on this side. Disconnected the power steering pump, fuel lines, vacuum hoses, wiring. You can see this side's already pulled off. It was this side was able to just slide off. That side come off a little bit tougher. But this thing's ready to come out. We just need to get some wheels and tires on it so that way it can roll around and such. But an hour of work and she's ready to pull. Alright guys, got it on all four tires. This one had a bad valve stem. I didn't change that. That one's holding enough air for us to roll. And then it's got one of my spares for my old truck, and then for my other truck, and then that one back there is holding air too. So, but she is rolling. Okay, so next step is getting the motor pulled out, but I think that's gonna have to wait till tomorrow. So I'll see if I am out here tomorrow, and I'll update you guys then. Well, what's up, YouTube? We're here again on another day at Twisted Wrench Garage. I went out to Mike's shop yesterday to work on the black truck some more, but unfortunately another car got put into the shop and then he needed some stuff done, so I didn't actually get to pull the motor all the way out, but that's going to be next week for sure. So today it's my best friend Jason's birthday. Happy birthday, Jason. Hope you have a really great day. Obviously I'm hanging out with him. We're working on his truck. Marshmallow here. We got some brake issues to resolve on the back. We got a Thrush cherry bomb muffler to go on as well, because his muffler, he told me his muffler was rattling around and wanting to fall out. We're also going to do some paint work on the valve cover and the breather when we do the valve cover gasket. So we've got quite a bit planned for the truck today, so we're going to try to get it done. Yesterday when I came out to hang out with him, I did try to get the steering wheel put on from that other truck that I pulled. Unfortunately it didn't work. I think the one he needs is the two arm with the round horn button on it. I think that's the one he needs, because the one he's got is from I think 87 and up, where it's the Chrysler kind of triangle looking deal. I have it actually here. So here's the one that he had, but that one we pulled off for the other truck, but it wouldn't fit because of this little adapter there at the back of it. It wouldn't actually go on all the way, so I think the steering wheel is just too thick. I think the older ones were a little bit thinner on that portion, but Mike should be happy to get his steering wheel back, and he'll be. I think he's talking about maybe putting it in one of his other trucks where he's wanting to do like a peanut butter and jelly theme, and I think that's gonna look really cool. But we already tore apart some stuff. Got the brake master cylinder or brake wheel cylinder off of this passenger rear. He told me it was leaking. The other side is fine. We're not gonna do anything to it because the lines are pretty rusted, and when I was pulling this passenger side apart, it did break. So we do have to replace the line with that wheel cylinder. But the brake drum pads themselves, they look fine. I mean, obviously you don't use the rear brakes very often, or as much as the fronts, so they don't get used as much. Like I told my buddy yesterday, I think you get like 3, maybe 4 front disc brake changes out of every 1 drum change. That kind of gives you an idea of how much they're used. But I'll go ahead and bring you guys down and show you guys what we're working with right now. Alright guys, so I went ahead and replaced the line, the old one. As you can tell, they twist on the thing and they break. I tried my best to keep it from doing that, but it actually broke on both ends. So went ahead and we got a new line. It's put in and it's ran. I did put a little service loop in here because the one we got was long and I didn't bring my flange tool with me to re-flange it, but it'll be fine. It's not going to be that big a deal. I've got it going through the regular mounts that holds it, and then it's like a little indicator. Hey, check the diff fluid here, right here. But it runs over, and it's going to run over to our wheel cylinder, and we'll get that put in. So let me give you guys a view of that. All right, guys. So there's our old setup. Like I said, the pads themselves, they look okay. It was just leaking from the wheel cylinder. Just pulled off the top 2 springs and the emergency brake cable to then pull these apart, and then 2 7/16 bolts, and then your line on the back will pull that wheel cylinder off. And here's our old one. I did go ahead and pull the seals off of both sides after I've got it all out. And only one side is actually moving on this one. I think this other side is frozen, which I think is why it popped the seal on this side. So it's not a big deal. These are nice and cheap, easy to replace. Just a little key reminder, don't ever throw these guys right here away, because you don't get new ones with your new wheel cylinders. You have to reuse these, so it's always good to clean them up and throw those back on. But we'll get all this put back together, get the wheel on. We'll give you guys a little update then. Now look at that. She's all back together. Brake's working good now. Bled it. New lines, new wheel cylinder. Super easy job, man. The drum pads themselves were great, or not great, but they're fine. The other side I'm sure is fine too. And I'm not gonna touch that side because I don't want to break any lines. So let's move on to the next step, or the next project. All right, guys. This is project number 2. He was letting me know that his muffler was about ready to fall out, and yeah, it was really bad. It was getting ready to come completely apart. So we got that bad boy cut out, and we're going to be throwing in this thrush cherry bomb, or whatever you want to call it. And our pipe is 2" on our truck here, but the muffler had like 2.5 or 2 1/4. So what I did was I cut one of the flanges off of the muffler, so then this here would fit all over the 2". And I left some of the muffler attachment on that side, and that's what we'll attach the other side to. So we'll get that turned on, or put in there, get it bolted in with some new exhaust clamps, and we'll fire this bad boy up so you guys can hear what it sounds like with this new muffler. I'm pretty excited. I know he is. Let's get it done. Yeah. Now she's a bit quieter than we expected. Might have to get some get a downpipe to put on that, make it a little louder, but I'm sure he don't mind. He just drives this thing to work and such. He puts his truck to work, so that's why we're always making sure it's on the road. Man, this thing runs good. Sounds so good. That power steering pump's whining a little bit because of that steering box is leaking out of the seal, so we're gonna get that done at some point. But the next thing on the list is we're gonna get this valve cover pulled off and the breather pulled off. We're going to replace the gasket on the valve cover, and we're going to paint these bad boys and make them look a lot better, because she deserves to shine. She runs so good. Not being shiny is kind of pointless. Man, she looks good. Running good now too. Alright guys, we're on to that next project. Well, one of a few, I think I would say. We went ahead and tightened up some of these bolts on this valve cover. They were loose. We're going to be changing the gasket, but we went ahead and threw a couple of tightens on those. They were all loose, just to keep water from getting down in it. We're going to go ahead and spray the engine down with some of this simple green that I've got diluted. We went ahead and threw a paint cap and a bag with duct tape over the carburetor, keep any water from going down in that. We're also going to try to avoid from getting the alternator charging voltage regulator box. We're going to try to keep that from getting super wet. Not too big a deal, but we're just going to get this thing nice and degreased and cleaned before we pull this valve cover off, because we don't want all that junk and gunk falling down in there, and then we're fighting getting it out, and we're yelling at ourselves. But got the breather over here. I went ahead and sprayed it down already with the simple green, so it's soaking and getting degreased already. Man, I'm excited to see the colors of this, because I think we're also going to be painting this intake manifold too if we get to it. So I'll bring you guys back after we have gotten it all cleaned up. Oh, all right, after some scrubbing and some degreaser, we got this thing fairly clean. Got down in the corners a little bit better. Got the fender wells, the hinges, and go ahead and clean this off some. That's looking a lot better. That way nothing falls down in it when we get to pulling it off. Can you believe that radiator hose was black? Holy crap, because it was brown. We got the battery pulled out of it because there was a bunch more stuff down in there. We got all that out. But yeah, she's looking so good underneath here now. So now we'll go ahead and start pulling off this valve cover, let it dry off. We're going to throw a coat of paint on this intake manifold as well, and the valve cover, breather. Then we can get you guys all updated on how everything is looking. Alright guys, so we already got a coat of paint on the intake manifold. It's looking a lot better. Some on the ends exhaust, that'll probably burn off, but did get all that painted up. I think I'm going to throw a coat of clear on that too to make it last a little bit longer. Got the valve cover cleaned off best we can right now. We're going to throw some parts cleaner on it, wipe it down, then we'll start painting it. We already started the breather. It's already got a coat of primer. It's already got a coat of black. Same thing as the wing nut. Now, one thing I wanted to mention to you guys on this valve cover, or any valve cover you guys are doing, when you guys before you guys go to put your new valve cover gasket on, these little sections right here, like what I do is I get like a little 1/2 inch socket, do it deep socket, whatever, and I put it on this side. And I put this side on something flat, and I just give this a couple taps, because what happens is over time, these bolts being tightened down over and over again will actually push that hole that way, and it'll actually cause you to have some sealing issues on either side. So just a little tip for you guys whenever you guys are doing your valve cover gaskets. That makes it a little bit easier. But we're getting real close to getting ready to throw in this thing back together and just hanging out for the rest of the evening, I think.
Yeah.
Got that black. We got a really nice color picked out to go with that black, and we're excited to see how it's going to look on top of it. So we'll bring it back when we get all of that going. I want to give you guys an update. We got the valve cover and breather painted. I did the base coat, the primer, and the clear coat. I let Jason do the splatter himself. So that's all his design. That's all him doing it. I really like it. I think the gold pops really good on that black. It's gonna look good on the truck. But a little update and show you what it looks like on the truck here shortly, guys. All right, guys, we got this. Sorry about the kids yelling. There's kids playing basketball next door. But we got the valve cover on, got the breather on. This thing is looking amazing. Night and day difference inside this engine bay, guys. Night and day. You know, a little bit pricey on the engine paint. You know, $12 a can, $11 a can, or whatever. But I mean, it right there speaks for itself. Looks awesome. Black with the gold splatter. Oh man, engine bay is nice and clean. Oh, but that is that. Another little project we did today, and I know you guys can tell by the paint on the tires, because I don't have a tire machine and I don't really feel like pulling them off. I just used a piece of cardboard and kind of kept the paint from going on the tires the best I could, you could tell. But no, we went and repainted them white. We took some SOS, or what was it? What were those other ones called? Brillo pads with the soap in them. We took those to the center caps on the chromish portion. Repainted the wheels. But it looks a lot better. Get to a spot where you guys can see the truck with the whole deal here. Yeah, she looks a lot better. Because the outsides of the lips on the wheels, they were rusted. So it definitely looks a lot better, a lot cleaner. And that white will come off the tires over time as he cleans it and such, but man, that looks good. Alright guys, I went ahead and ran Ramona home. As you can tell, she's not sitting out front anymore. It's a storm, and we're supposed to get some like hail and possible tornadoes, but usually it just kind of flies over us. But that kind of could put an end to our work day, but good for us. We got everything that we really wanted to get done today. You know, we got the brakes fixed, we got the engine all cleaned up, got the valve cover gasket replaced, got all that stuff painted up and looking really good. I got out to go work on the truck this week. You guys will get to see some footage of that. You know, next week should be a really busy week for me. I'm going to be out at Mike's cleaning up his shop with him, so we can make some more room for some of the stuff that we got going on up there. I'm going to do some work on a truck that he has, so that'll be coming up on the channel once for like a head job or something like that. But that'll come more later. We'll get more details on that later. But oh yeah, when we got the wheels painted, I forgot. The wheels painted and the hubcaps cleaned too. Man, this thing is looking really good. I mean, my goal today was to make sure that Jason had a great birthday and he got everything that he wanted to get done to his truck done today. And I feel like I made that possible. And I made sure that happened. I mean, we had some things happen, obviously. Broken brake lines, but that's all stuff that happens whenever you're working on stuff, guys. You know? Can't work on stuff and expect nothing to go wrong. So you just overcome and you'll succeed. That's all it is. But I do appreciate you guys watching. I do. Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. Wait 1 second. So check this out. Boom. So this right here is going to be the layout of our decals to start with. Okay? My best friend Jason's wife does decals, and we're going to work together on getting these out to everyone. Mine is actually going to be in red lettering and like a seafoam green or mint ring, and it's going to be nice and big on my back window. I've already got it over there. It's just not. It's in layers, so I have to put it all together on the truck. But this is what it's going to look like. If you guys want these stickers, we can definitely make that happen. We're going to be doing t-shirts, stickers, hats, maybe koozies, maybe keychains. There's all kinds of different possibilities of stuff that we're going to be doing with these decals, guys. Love the way it looks. Like the vintage look. I like to do the whole vintage colors and such. You guys want to support the channel? That's something we can definitely do. We're still working out the price on the decals right now. So we'll figure out exactly how much these are, and I can get back with you guys on that. If you guys do want them and you guys want any kind of custom colors or anything like that, or if you guys want certain colors, let me know in the email or in the comments below, and I will try to see if I can make that possible. That way, you guys can get what you want, and you're supporting the channel and helping me continue on doing what I'm doing here. But again, guys, I do appreciate you guys watching. Throw that like, throw a subscribe, throw a comment if you want. Appreciate you guys again. Have a good one.